the unit of life. Here I have written student part first because this is your first lecture of chapter number 7. So here I have written part first. Okay. So basically what the chapter name tells you students, cell, the unit of life. Here the chapter itself describes the meaning of cell. Means cell is the basic unit of any living organism. Okay. Thus here it is written the unit of life. Every living organism students, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. What is the meaning of unicellular? Unicellular are those organisms students which complete their whole body in a single cell. Or whether they are multicellular, which means they are made up of multiple cells. They had arises from a single cell. Okay. If we talk about animals, means humans, they also arises from a single cell known as zygote. Single cell. Okay. Now, Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Who was Antony van Leeuwenhoek? Antony van Leeuwenhoek was the first Dutch scientist who had invented the microscope to see a single cell. Because cell is so small in structure students that you will not be able to see it very clearly with your naked eyes. So with the help of microscope we will be able to see it clearly. So Antony van Leeuwenhoek was the first scientist who invented a instrument, we can say, which will help human to see cell. After that, Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke was the scientist students who had invented the compound microscope. Now what is compound microscope and a single cell which is zygote. Every organism is made up of single cell primarily, and after that it becomes a multicellular, and that single cell is known as zygote. Antony van Leeuwenhoek was the first scientist, Dutch scientist, who had invented the microscope to see a single cell. Robert Hooke was the scientist who had invented the compound microscope to see the cell at a very minute level. After that, the cell theory was given by Matthew Kent and Theodor Swan students. This is also very important. So all of you now open your book and we will start from our book.
See students, on your screen where the chapter number 2 is begin, cell, the unit of life. Here everything whatever I had taught to all of you is given. For example, cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Antony van Leeuwenhoek discovered the first microscope. Then Robert Hooke discovered the second, that is compound microscope, which is able to see the cell as at a very minute level. Now at your second page, students, see the structure of microscope is given. Okay, nowadays the microscope which we use in our lab is given at the figure 2.3. students, see figure 2.3. this is an ordinary compound microscope. See, an eyepiece is there, body tube is there. Okay, so the base where the light source is coming out, student, we place our thing to see at the base point. Okay, at the base point there is a light source. See, where the light source is given, below that we put the slide which we have to see. Now at figure 2.4 it is given an electron microscope. So how the electron microscope is different, student? In electron microscope, whatever we will want to see is show on the monitor. See, here in picture a monitor is also connected to the microscope. So whatever we will see on the microscope, under the microscope, will show on the screen of monitor. Now cell theory is also given, students. In that box, see, the cell theory state 3 major points, as I had told to all of you. The cell is the smallest unit of structure of all living organism. Okay, the cell is the unit of function of all living organism, and also all the cells arises from their pre-existent cell. Means the cell arises from the pre-existent cells, means the cell which is already existing. Okay, now if we talk about what does the cell theory means, take 2 examples of a plant such as mango and animals such as a frog. Okay, for example, structural unit, the cell is responsible for their structure, whether it is plant or animal. Cell is also responsible for their function, whether they perform locomotion or they are not performing locomotion, means they are moving or not moving. Cell dies and are replaced, means once the cell is getting die, or if the cell is died, that cell will be replaced by the new cell. Most life started as a single cell. If we talk about us also, students, we arises from a single cell named as zygote. Okay, for example, students, if we see the example of single cell, many small plants and animal are made up of single cell. For example, bacteria, yeast and amoeba, they all are made up of single cell. Few cell, if we talk about the organism which is made up of few cells, means less amount of cells. Here it is giving the example of Spirogyra and Volvox. Now the third is multicell. Multicell means numerous number of cells. Then the example is given human being and mango tree. So students, from page number 7 to page number 9 up to topic 2.4, okay, you have to study and revise. In our next lecture we will start 2.5, cells how small. Okay students, so the bigger An organism greater is the number of cell is given in the blue box. See at the below of the page it is given, means the larger the size of the organism means the organism is containing more number of cell. Students, you have to revise whatever I had taught to all of you, and in our next class we will join our live class of the chapter. Okay, till then you have to study this. Okay.